Today we're diving into a topic that literally shaped the world of film as we know it. We're talking creepy shadows, surreal landscapes, and visuals that feel like you stepped into a fever dream. I'm Antonia Carlotta, and this is Universally Me, the channel for all things universal and classic horror. German Expressionism isn't just some old black and white art thing. It's kind of everywhere. It's in sci-fi, in horror, even in your favorite superhero films. Want to know how this art movement from the 1920s is still influencing movies today? Well, let's get into it. First, let's talk about the birth of German Expressionism. It was in the aftermath of World War I, and Germany was in chaos. Economic ruin, political instability, and psychological trauma. Not the best vibes. Artists, writers, filmmakers, they wanted to reflect that, not by showing reality, but by exaggerating it. Instead of showing the world how it was, they showed the world how it felt. Distorted, dark, twisted. This style, known as Expressionism, it started in paintings and literature, but it quickly made its way to film where it found a new home. And it changed cinema forever. So what movie sparked it all? The Cabinet of Dr. Cigary in 1920. Directed by Robert Vine, this film isn't just creepy, it is a mind-bending psychological thriller told through wildly exaggerated sets. Jagged walls, painted on shadows, and bizarre angles. It is like a nightmare come to life. Why did they make everything so weird? Well, the idea was to reflect the madness of the characters in the world around them. And people loved it. Audiences had never seen anything like it before. And before we get to the monsters, I have to mention Metropolis from 1927 by Fritz Lang. It is considered one of the most influential films of all time. Even if you've never seen it, you've probably seen its cityscapes or its robot lady before. Metropolis took the expressionist ideas and ran with them, showing this dystopian future that feels kind of more relevant today than ever. Fritz Lang's use of expressionist sets and lighting created a world where the city itself felt like a monster, just as cold and mechanical as the machines running it. Okay, but what exactly is German Expressionism? Other than weird sets, what is it? Well, there are a few key things that make German Expressionism stand out. First, light and shadow. Expressionists use what's called chiaroscuro lighting, which creates really strong contrasts between light and dark. It makes everything feel more intense. It's atmospheric, it's creepy, and it's downright iconic. Also, distorted sets. These filmmakers were not going out of their way to make things look more realistic. Sometimes it was the more bizarre, the better. Buildings could be crooked, doorways misshapen, streets might be zigzagging mazes, and trees sharp and striking. And finally, let's talk about the acting. If the lights and the sets are so exaggerated, it only makes sense that the performances match. German Expressionism was known for its theatrical performances, where movements and expressions might be really exaggerated, even over the top, but it's all part of the vibes. German Expressionism showed us that sometimes what's going on in a character's head, and getting to see that, is more interesting than what's happening in real life. So now let's talk Universal monsters and German Expressionism, starting in 1925 with The Phantom of the Opera. I always think about this shot with the ballerinas and their shadows, that imposing face back there. Of course, the tunnels that the Phantom takes Christine through, and the Phantom's own face and his unmasking. Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Invisible Man, the Bride, each one of these monsters owes a great debt to German Expressionism. Let's start with Dracula, directed by Todd Browning. I think this scene of Dracula descending the staircase says it all. The long, exaggerated shadows, the imposing columns, sharp trees coming in through the windows, that spider web, and Dracula gliding so gracefully, candle in hand. I also think of the scene when Renfield cuts his finger and Dracula wants so badly to go towards that blood until he sees the cross and hides away. There's never one doubt what's going through Dracula's mind in those moments. Or take Frankenstein, directed by James Whale. Those dark looming castle sets, or the lab set. Frankenstein's lab is one of the most famous sets in cinema history. It's a perfect example of how Universal pulled from German Expressionist design. The crazy machinery, chains, lights. The room has all of these twists and turns as you move upward. Or take Boris Karloff as the monster. The monster represents the ultimate German expressionist figure. With his stiff mechanical movements, his grotesque makeup, the themes of madness and isolation, the consequences of playing God, they're all heightened by the aesthetic. And don't get me started on The Mummy, directed by Karl Freund, who, get this, worked on Metropolis. His background in the movement is evident in his use of atmosphere and shadows and silent tension to tell the story of Imhotep. The sets are vast and imposing, the shadows deep and unsettling. Imhotep, like Dracula, moves in this slow, mechanical way. His stillness with the dramatic lighting makes his presence so unnerving. And let's jump forward to 1935 and The Bride of Frankenstein. This movie is a masterpiece. It's probably my favorite of the Universal monster movies, and it's even more stylized and exaggerated than Frankenstein itself. The bride herself is such a great embodiment of German Expressionism. Her angular hairstyle with that zigzag streak like lightning. She's this blend of stark white and black. She moves in jerks and angles. She's not human, but she's not monster either. I'd also be remiss not to mention the Black Cat and the Raven. The Black Cat is probably one of my favorite and most explicit examples. Starring Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff and directed by Edgar G. Ulmer, it is this surreal, unsettling, and honestly extreme film that defines German Expressionism to a T. Here's that chiaroscuro lighting in one of my favorite shots from the movie. Boris and Bela gave such big and beautiful performances. I think I once talked about how they gave these contrasting performances. Bela, so graceful, moves in curves, and Boris in sharp angles. And this set toward the end, there's something about this aesthetic, this arrangement. It really feels like there is a straight line from Metropolis to this. I'm honestly obsessed with it. I could go on forever sharing German Expressionism in the classic Universal horror films, but just go watch for yourself. Go watch The Cat and the Canary, The Man Who Laughs, The Raven, Murders in the Rue Morgue, all the other Universal monster movies that I mentioned. And just in case you think that this style died out with black and white films, no way. German Expressionism is still alive and well in films today. Just look at any Tim Burton film, Edward Scissorhands, Batman Returns. How about Guillermo del Toro? Pan's Labyrinth clearly took some inspiration from German Expressionism. Guillermo del Toro has talked about the influence Frankenstein had on him and his work. He once said, "It touches the very essence of what I am and all that I believe in." Guillermo del Toro just finished filming a version of Frankenstein that's going to be on Netflix next year. I'm so excited to see it. I would be surprised if there's not some element of German Expressionism in there. And The Babadook is a great example of German Expressionism in a modern film. And even the new Nosferatu coming out, I absolutely saw German Expressionist influence in that trailer. German Expressionism wasn't just a fleeting art movement, it fundamentally changed the way that we think about and visualize cinema, especially horror. Universal in particular embraced the style in a way that helped define the look and feel of the horror genre for decades to come. From the eerie, shadow-filled corridors of Dracula to the jagged sets of Frankenstein, German Expressionism gave Universal filmmakers a toolkit for creating atmosphere, tension, and psychological depth. By distorting reality, these films externalize the internal struggles of their characters, making the monsters and the madmen even more terrifying. And that's a wrap on German Expressionism and the Universal monsters. Tell me your favorite German Expressionist films in the comments below. If you want to show your support for my work, join the Lemley family with a paid YouTube membership or on Patreon. You also get bonus content. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.